Hello. So today's video I'm going to show you how to illustrate different kind of poses. Now as a fashion designer, it's very important that you should know how to draw a croquis. So here I'm taking a 9 head croquis. Starting 0 to 1 is head, 2 is a bust line, 3 is a waistline, 4 is a hip line. Now as you can see, I've drawn the shoulder line, the waistline and the hip line, and I've drawn the bone line for the legs. So 2 is a bust line. So you give the shape of the bust, give the shape of the hip. I'm adding the shoulder bone and then shaping the hands. Now 6 is where the knee comes. It's very important that you stick to the right proportion. So that's how you'll draw the first leg. Another leg is ahead. So you'll shape the legs this way. And yes, adding the fingers, give the baseline, flesh out the hands, add the fingers. Now I will be having one more video just doing the fingers, but right now just the basic. So that's how you draw a pose. Now here I'm taking a pose. I've picked up few photographs from the Pinterest. Now if you could see, the upper body is on the left side. So I've drawn the head, the shoulder, 2 is a bust line, 3 is a waistline, 4 is a hip line. Now hip, you can see it's slightly slant, one leg is straight, one leg is stretched. Okay, so again understand the shape of the flow of the body is facing towards the right. Drop the shoulders, 2 is the bust line. So give the bust ka curve that is slightly below the 2. Waist is your thinnest area. Now 3 is your waistline. So I've dropped the lines for the waist, which is thin, and then for the legs. Always draw the bone line first. It becomes easier to flesh out your legs. So now again understand, knee is at 6. Giving the collarbone, add as much detail as possible. Now I've tried to make it very simple. There are many different methods also, but this is the easiest method. What I've realized it, most of the students find this easy, so I'm showing you the easiest method. Draw the bone line and flesh out. So that's the shape of the legs. Again the hands, I've drawn the bone line first. Over here also it's all the another hand is not seen clearly. So okay, one more pose. So here you could see the upper body is completely on the shifting towards the left. So I've drawn the center line, that is my vertical line, and my body is on the left hand side. If you could see, the body the bust line is not touching the center line. The head is completely on the another side of the center line. Now waistline is just touching. Give the armhole, give the bust shape 2. Now I've extended the upper body and the legs. Now again understand, I've drawn the bone line first. It becomes easier if you draw the bone line and then flesh the legs. Okay, so that's how the legs are gone. The other side of the leg is not seen because the left leg is coming ahead. Okay, shaping the legs. The detailings you can always add later on. The hands, they're straight. Flesh out the hands. Give the shape of the fingers. And yes, now rubbing off all the unwanted lines, and then you can make it neater. So understand, whenever you're doing a pose, there are 3-4 very important lines. First, the center line that will identify where the flow of the body is, and then your shoulder line. If the shoulder is going slant, if it's going up on one side. Now Okay, this pose is very semi side pose. The body is completely towards the side. Okay, so one hip is very acutely seen and the other side of the hip or the buttocks are not seen. So again the head, she's looking down, so I'll change the shape of the head, extend the neckline. So if you could see the stretch of one side of the neck, the bust line, the waistline, and 4 is the hip line. Okay, so 2 is a bust line, the shoulder, one side of the shoulder is not seen, if you could see that, and another shoulder is very clearly seen. Again it's slightly up, so one shoulder is not seen, another shoulder is seen. Showing the bust line, 2 is a bust line. Now I'll give the arm socket and the side line. Now if you could see, that part is the shadow part, what I've drawn is the side. Okay, so if it's a front pose, that side would not be seen, but because it's a semi side pose, that the shadow part is seen. Now one hip is going to be very acute and one is going to be slightly softer. Okay, then comes the leg. So the upper body is established, again giving the bone line, one leg is extended. Now understand, one, normally 6 is the knee, so because one leg is behind and one leg is ahead, what I'm doing over here is slightly above 6 is this leg ka knee, and this knee I'm giving it slightly below the knee, below the 6. Okay, so giving again, always give the bone line, giving the bone line for the hands, another hand is not seen, arm socket, the underarm pit, and again rubbing off all the unwanted line and then making it cleaner. So that goes for a semi-side pose. So if you're designing a garment where there is an emphasis on the side seam line, or there is some buckles and there's some opening, then it's very nice to illustrate this kind of pose. Okay, let me add the glares also, and lips. Okay, one more pose. So here if you could see, she has extended her body. So if you could see, the hip is shifting towards one side and the upper body is arched. It is, in a lovely shape. Okay, so again shoulder, waistline, hip line. I'm sorry, the video quality is very blurry, I guess. Okay, shoulders are slant, 2 is a bust line. So if you could see, the neck is stretched on one side, giving the bust line. So below the 2 I've given the bust ka shape, giving the armpit. Now if you see, this body is stretched and this part is contracted. There's a stretch on this side of the body and there's a contraction on that side of the body, giving the bust line, waistline, and the hip line. So that goes for your upper body, giving the lines for the bone line for the hands. Again the leg remains the same. Draw the bone line, droop the line till the knee, give the bulge for the calf. So it's a straight line, it's a conical, the thigh part is going to be conical, and then give the bulge for the calf, and that's how you draw the legs. Rubbing all the unwanted lines. Giving the I've given the bone line for the hands also. Another hand. Yes, so this pose is also done. Now normally shoulders, what we do is two head. So shoulders are two head, that is almost 2 inches. So 0 to 1 is head, 2 is a bust line, 3 is a waistline, 4 is a hip line, 6 is knee, 8 1/4 you can have your ankle, and 9 the feet. Okay, now here if you could see, the shoulders are not very broad. Why? Because both the arms are going upward. The knee is bended, so the knee will go above 6. Again you could see the flow of the body. So first draw the body line, very important. Now I would advise you all to practice few poses this way. When you're taking the photographs for the practice, what you can do is pick up a photograph which is slightly less clothed, where you could see the body outline very clearly, and then you can start working on your stick figure and then flesh it out. So that goes for the hand. Stick to the proportion. If your proportion is correct, that is your waistline and the hip line, at 3, at 4, 2 is the bust line, all that proportion, if you stick to the same proportion, it will be perfect. Again, shape the legs. The knee is bended, and okay, again rubbing off all those unwanted lines, and then you can later on ink it out, or once you start clothing them, then all these excess lines can always go away. Okay, one more. Now this is a complete side pose. If you could see, the body is facing towards one side. Now again I've drawn the center line first. Another one side of the shoulder is not seen only, and so the upper body is slightly shifted towards the front, and the lower body is facing completely towards the side. To the bust line. So when I say 2 is a bust line, give the curve below the 2. Give the arm socket. Another side of the arms are not seen. Give a more acute. See, if that side of the hip is more clearly seen, that is more acute, that is round bulge, but this side of the hip is not seen, so it's going to be more straightish. Again, draw the bone line, and then once the bone line is fixed, then it becomes easy to just flesh it out. So it's very easy to draw poses. You can change the position, you can change the hand position, just draw the stick figure first, and then you can, your hands can go straight, you can bend your hands, anything. Showing the another leg. Here also straight line for the hand. So your wrist is usually around your hip, slightly below the hip. So give the shoulder line, rub the line, and yes, that goes for your hands. Now another side of the hand is not clearly seen. It's only that part is seen, and the fingers. Okay. So I've done quite a bit of poses. It's a quick one, but y'all can keep on practicing this kind of poses. It will be helpful. Once you outline it, and becomes neater. Don't forget to give the collarbone. Okay, then comes I'll draw one more. This is a complete side, right? So in that case, there would not be, like for shoulder, usually we take 2 heads, that is 2 inches because it's a complete side pose, the shoulders are, there's no breadth for the shoulder. Okay, 2 is a bust line. Again, both the side of the hip is not seen. uh, one side of the hip is seen, one side is almost straight, so only the buttocks are seen. Give the arm socket. Okay, I'm giving the bone line first. So one leg straight, the another leg which is the other side, so both the legs are not going to be seen, only that much is going to be seen. And then again, arm starting from center, and so one arm hole is seen, one arm socket is seen, the other arm is not seen. So it starts that way. So I hope it was helpful. It is easy to draw poses, it's only that you will need to keep practicing. So y'all know where to get in touch with me. Y'all can send me your sketches on Insta, or you can always write a comment. If you have any problems, if you want me to make some other videos, do let me know. So what I'm doing over here is outlining it with a black pen and erasing out all the unwanted lines. It becomes neater. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel now. Why? Because I'm teaching you something amazing, isn't it? Okay, bye bye.